Okay, great. So, welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
Well,
And welcome.
and
And to fabulous. That's
We are.
fabulous. Give us the pose, ladies.
Ladies, yes, just do fabulous.
Armed and fabulous. We are at Smart Girl Politics, New Hampshire, at the Londonderry Fishing Game, and we're here to shoot guns. Guys, where did you come up with this idea?
Well, you know, we're very delicate.
Oh, please. We know you better than that.
Very delicate.
Well, why don't you introduce yourselves?
All right, I am Susan Olson from Warner, New Hampshire.
Kate Baker.
Karen Testerman from Franklin.
And the littlest smart girl.
Yes.
What's your name, sweetheart? Dory!
All
Yes.
right.
Dory's here with us, and we're here today for our first annual Armed and Fabulous shoot. This we are planning to be a day of instruction, to learn a little bit about safety, a little bit about proper handling of firearms, especially for women who've never held one, who've never had the opportunity. Say their husband's bought them a gun and they're like, what do I do with it? Well, we're here to show them that and to teach them through our wonderful instructors at Aim Small Academy and our wonderful volunteers what it's all about, how it works, how you handle it safely, how you approach it safely. Then we're going to do a little lunch, and then we're going out on the range.
Oh, excellent.
Have to do lunch because it's a women's event.
Yeah.
It is women's
Yeah, we
event.
have to eat.
Yes.
Well, the
We
thing
can't just shoot.
well, the thing about our being here, GrokTV, is it's not just shooting, but it's also politics, as in Smart Girl Politics. You folks are going to be talking politics during the day, I would imagine.
Oh, I think we will. In fact, we're going to have some candidates and politicians arriving later this morning. I, for one, even though I probably shouldn't say it, I'm running for a House seat. But
one of our sponsors, a politician, did sponsor our event.
Yes,
Right.
we had a sponsor. We had multiple sponsors.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob Burns, and of course we want to say a big thank you to Ralph D'Amico and Riley's Gun Shop, who has from day one said, how can I help? I think it's important for women to learn how to handle firearms. Count me in. So thank you, Ralph.
Yeah, thanks, Ralph.
Well, let me ask you, why do you think it's important that women, other than most men, who seem to have an affinity to guns, but why should women be carrying guns?
Well, there
That is a great question. I mean, look at the size of me. Come here, please, you
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Please come here.
we're going to have a demonstration here.
This is why I should carry a gun.
That works.
And this is another reason. We have to protect not only ourselves, but our families.
Right.
And if you learn how to shoot properly, you don't waste nearly as much ammo.
Well, what
It's
about
a money
Well, the
saving
other
thing.
part of it is too is
It's a fiscal issue.
I know, in a time when we're at great distress because of our economy, it is a fiscal issue, but it is a constitutional issue.
Yeah.
It is something that we as Americans are allowed to do, and we want to know how to do it, but do it safely, to be able to not only defend ourselves, but to enjoy it. Women are great target shooters, and they do very, very well in marksmanship. That's right.
Well, and absolute protection of the Second Amendment is a core principle of Smart Girl Politics, not just the national organization, but our New Hampshire organization as well. And can I share just a brief story about protecting our Second Amendment rights? This morning we stopped on the way to pick up some additional ammunition because there may be men shooting and they kind of just wasted it. So we stopped in. And the woman at the counter said, may I see your driver's license? And we said, excuse me?
Right.
She goes, well, if you're from Massachusetts and you don't have a concealed carry permit, we can't sell you the ammunition. Now this is Walmart. Since when do you have to show ID to buy ammunition?
And since when is New Hampshire enforcing Massachusetts laws?
And since when do we have to show identification to exercise our rights?
But you don't have to show an ID. Well, now we do. To vote.
And that's a very good thing.
Yes, it is a good thing.
So if you have to show your ID to vote, what's wrong with showing ID for ammunition?
Well, one is more a little bit
difference, I think.
a big brother standing in the way. It's more regulation. We don't like regulation when it's not necessary. We're more into personal responsibility.
And I'm not sure that ammunition is as cheap to buy as votes in some states. So, ladies,
Fine.
but the point is that having to show an ID to enforce Massachusetts law, I don't understand that.
Right.
Are we in charge of Massachusetts? We really should be.
We should be, but no, please.
No, well, Massachusetts is in charge more of us than we
Never,
are of
never,
them.
never.
We shouldn't be,
No way.
but they are, because
No
they
way.
put regulations in down there that affect us when we go down there.
No, we're not going to
You know what? You're going to have to excuse me one moment. I'm going to get one of our ladies registered. I'll be right back. Excuse me, Skip.
All right.
Good morning.
And so,
Well-
what else do you want to know, Mr. Murphy?
Well, you will be shooting,
Yes, sir.
and I'm going to ask, what is your favorite weapon?
Right now I have a 38 Smith & Wesson that I enjoy firing, but I kind of am leaning more towards a new firearm that might not have quite so much necessity to pull the trigger.
Yeah, the 38 does have a heavy trigger.
It has a heavy trigger.
Yeah.
And since I broke my hand at one point, it really does affect me. So I need to have something that's got a little bit smoother on the draw. And when I'm pulling that trigger, so that's what I'm looking for.
Because I have that same 38 Smith & Wesson, and I carry it because it's foolproof.
Right,
Right? It doesn't make any mistakes.
That's right.
Right? Every time. It will shoot
And it's
every time.
nice, and it's
Right.
small, and it fits in my
Right.
bag very
Right.
nicely.
Right. Or can you tell that I'm carrying? No.
No.
Correct, but you can see.
Ah, look at that.
See that? Because I have my concealed carry permit. I carry frequently. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Very
But it's the
good.
same one
Is-
you were just describing.
Yeah.
But is that your favorite weapon?
It's the only one I have.
Well, then it has to be.
So there you go.
It's time to go collect more.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, ladies, I want to say thank you very much for taking a few minutes with Granite Rock.
Thank
I'm sure,
you.
quite sure that during the rest of the day, we'll be asking some more questions, because all I have to do is line the three of you up, ask one question, and then off you go to the races. And hopefully later on we'll be going over to the range.
We
Great.
will be. Yes.
Great.
Very good.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks
thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you, Miss Dory.
I'm Susan Olson. I'm one of the coordinators of Smart Girl Health Experience. You know, Karen Testerman coming in, and the little smart. I want to welcome each and every one of you today to the first annual Art and Fabric. We're very excited about it. I want to ask one of our sponsors here to come up and let me introduce him. He's a very shy fellow, but Rick Olson, who's the president of the Londonderry Fishing Game, also the New Hampshire Wildlife Federation, has been with us from day one, saying, how can I help, what can we do? So big round of applause.
Well, on behalf of the membership body and on behalf of the membership body, I want to welcome you to the Londonderry Fishing Game Club. My name is Rick Olson. I'm the club president. We are a fish and game club. We are an 83-acre facility located in Londonderry. We have approximately 630 members, and we have open memberships. We support conservation, hunting, fishing, shooting, and we are stalwart supporters of the Second Amendment. So on behalf of the membership, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Rick. I also want to introduce two very special guests. Our instructors this morning, who are here from Ames Small Academy. These two gentlemen, you've got biographies of each of them in your packets, but these two gentlemen, again, from the beginning said, how can we help? How can we make this happen? So I want to welcome Bill Pearson and Joe Farrell. Both of these gentlemen have extensive law enforcement backgrounds, so anybody will just be careful. So I want to say thank you for your time, thank you for all of your help, thank you for this, and welcome to Smart Girl Conference.
Don't want to say that. Thank you, Mr. Janitor. Joe and I have been doing a lot of training for a number of years, probably more than I care to mention. And we've developed a program recently. Most of our background is on the law enforcement side. And we continually take classes. We've taken classes this year. We never stop taking classes. We never stop learning. And even the classes that we teach, we learn things. So we're always learning. Ames Small Academy, we started basically to do some civilian classes, and one of the classes that we put together is specifically a women's firearms class, a women's basic handgun class. This is kind of a derivative of that. This has got bits and pieces of it. It's a 12-hour class. There's no way we can do that in 2 or 3 hours. So we're just going to touch on a few things. In your packets, you've got a workbook. You've got a waiver. We're going to hand out some pens. You're going to have to fill out the waiver and just share pens and stuff. Obama fan is a writing service. You can do that during the course of the class because we're going to review all the stuff that's in the waiver. And then the class will probably go about 2 hours. We'll take a break. We'll have lunch, get the range set up, and then we'll go down to the range. We're going to run a very safe range. We'll probably run 2 lines. Two shooting lines, and we've got a good assortment of range officers and instructors. Everybody here is a range officer. If you see something that makes you nervous, put your hand up, let us know. We want to run a very, very safe range. Safety is paramount. So, how many women are in the class? I don't know, you're almost outnumbered. So, it's going to be an interesting class. How many women have shot before? Good. I knew Susan shot. How many of the men have shot before? Cool. Cool. Well, that's good to know. Feel free at any time if you've got a question. Let us finish the topic that we're on. Ask a question.
Extra packets? I'm sure I can find them.
And there'll be plenty of time. If it gets really, really warm, we're probably going to run the range and take frequent water breaks. Definitely make sure you hydrate yourself. If you're not hydrated, we don't need anybody having heat exhaustion. It's going to be a very humid, hot day. Yep. Oh, that's Yep. Anybody else need a packet before we start? We're starting about a little more than a half hour late here. Everybody got something? Cool. I'm going to turn it over to Joe, and we're going to walk through the program. Okay. Odds are going to be on the line here. Yep. So odds are going to be up here. That means if you're a 1, a 3, a 5.
This one here.
Okay.
Reload it. You slowly bring your trigger is now farther back. Okay.
Left a little bit tighter. Yeah, that's it. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Stand up straight.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here we go.
No,
you in a little bit. Get close.
There.
Get close. Get close. That's
Get a little closer.
Here we go. Looking at me. Attitude. Attitude. One more time. Attitude.
GrokTV.